But, I want to begin by talking about something completely different, the flooding in the Chinese province of Henan. Really quite something, when we've seen these pictures that have come in, the floods have forced nearly 400,000 people to leave their homes. Also, officials confirming more than 30 deaths so far. We do have our China media analyst, Kerry Allen, with us. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Nuala.
Good to have you with us. What I want to do first, Kerry, is, play some of the messages we've received from people in Zhengzhou, which is this city that has been affected, that we've seen a lot of the video and pictures come from. They have ordered an urgent evaluation of the transport network there. 12 people drowned on an underground train, just horrific. Let me bring you first Stephanie, who's a student in the city.
My friend and I studied in Zhengzhou, July 19, 2021. It rained heavily and caught people off guard. The rain did not stop the next day, but my friend and I were not affected. We still went to class that day because the water in some area is serious. For the safety of our students and teachers, we changed to online classes later, and there is no power or water cutoff. Maybe it is because of the impact of rainstorm. The signal is not very good. In addition, the hotel downstairs has not closed, and people's life has returned to normal. Because of the heavy rain, some of our subways were flooded, so the traffic is still recovering. Some students around me may not be able to go home because of traffic problems, but we have prepared enough resources in our class place, such as quilts and simple beds, so that they can have a rest. For us and the people, we all have the confidence to face this flood because we all believe that our party and government will help us through this crisis as soon as possible.
Thanks so much for that, Stephanie. We also spoke to Debbie, who's a teacher in Zhengzhou, and she sent us a picture of her school. I'm looking at it right now, like part of it underwater. You can just see the tops of trees through this muddy brown, looks like a river, was a road previously, and kind of the haze that's also created an awful situation for them to be in. Let's listen to the message she sent us.
Hello, I'm Debbie. I'm in Zhengzhou City now. It was raining extremely hard that day, the 20th July. It had been raining for about 5 hours, and I've never seen so heavy rain. Very soon, my school was filled with water. Although it was very dangerous, we are on summer holiday nowadays, and there were only few students at school, so the floods had a little effect to our school. But I heard 12 people died in a flooded subway line. Now the rain stopped, and I believe we'll have a good transport soon.
Thanks very much, Debbie. I'm so glad that there was hardly anybody at your school when that rain was taking place and the floods that followed. Kerry Allen, as I mentioned, our BBC China media analyst, is with us. What about those stories, Kerry?
Well, they're shocking. I mean, I haven't seen anything like this, like an incident on such a major scale, I would say, since the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. There's been so much media coming out and just, the drastic situation, just how much things have escalated. I mean, what I've been seeing today in China's media, pictures of people spending their night sleeping on escalators at train stations because they can't get home, sleeping on yoga mats in gyms, and people in their apartment buildings filming from their home what it looks like from outside, and it literally looks like the sky is falling. And this isn't just in Zhengzhou anymore. What's happened in the last 24 hours is we've seen a lot of media come out of other cities in Henan province. So two cities in particular, Anyang and Xinshan. It's almost apocalyptic. There's just so much water, and it just... I mean, literally, my heart goes out to these people. I've not seen anything like this in a long time.
Debbie mentioned there she expected the transportation system to be back up and running. But there are questions about the preparedness, or what should have been preparedness, for a potential event like this.
Yes, absolutely. And we have seen today on some platforms that capture censored Sina Weibo posts, Sina Weibo being what Chinese people use instead of Facebook or Twitter, messages very much asking that. So there are, there is the possibility that there have been posts that have been appearing that the government has wanted taken down that are questioning the authorities and how this happened. We have also seen in state media as well kind of a dismissal that this has anything to do with climate change. And there has been in official media a real emphasis that this happens every year, that China experiences heavy rain, but not like this. I mean, people have been saying that the amount of rainfall was within 3 days the amount of rainfall that this area would normally expect to have within a year. So it's quite something.
It really is. I did see some of the local media referring to it as a 1 in 1,000 year event. But let me also turn to some of the pressing issues. I mean, basically people were just trying to escape over the past 36 hours or so. But now I'm hearing about an access, or lack of access, should I say, to water and shelter. What do you know?
Yeah, so this has been the new problem that's been emerging that we've seen a lot of in the media today. So there have been big bodies like the Communist Youth League in Henan putting out an appeal for people to send emergency supplies, things like water, instant food, so things like noodles, life jackets. So there's been this cry, but also, in Zhengzhou, there's a situation where people can't get access to sanitary drinking water. So official media have been sharing kind of access points that people can go to at certain roads so that they can, if they can, make their way there and get drinking water. And
I'm just very briefly, Kerry, I mean, the government, how are they describing what has happened? I know people are horrified. You were also sharing on your Twitter feed some of the pictures on the front of some of the regional newspapers.
You do really get an emphasis that the authorities are doing the most they can. So this is what you'll hear from big platforms like People's Daily and CCTV. They'll be saying the police are handing out water, they're handing out food to people who are stuck, and firefighters are getting anywhere that they can do. And they're also saying that the community are pulling together as well. So there's a collective effort to get past this.
Kerry Allen, BBC's China media analyst, thank you so much.